So, we have a great show ready for you guys today. You're now watching Basketball the Northway, brought to you by the Northway. If you don't know by now, the Northway is a Canadian basketball platform, and we help coaches find the best Canadian basketball prospects. Like you can be an NBA coach, a collegiate coach, prep school coach, whatever the case may be. We're here to help you guys find the best Canadian prospects. And that's what you can expect out of this show. We're going to be updating you with the latest basketball news. We're going to be breaking down scouting reports, guys you should pay attention to, guys flying under the radar. And this is just what you can expect if you decide to subscribe to our show on Apple or Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, even if you just see these clips floating around the internet. Looking forward to connecting with you, coaches. I'm your host, Keon Mears, head of player advancement and scouting at the Northway. You can check me out at Keon Mears on Instagram or Twitter, and follow the Northway on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok if that's in stuff if that's what you're into. And you can also check out our website at thenorthway.org. Um, so just to start off, we're gonna get into like the latest news in Canadian basketball. And today, to me, I think we should be talking about the big showcase that just happened, the Jamal Murray showcase. It was a great event put together by um, Nichelle, New Balance, and obviously Jamal Murray and his family. It was a great event, and it really helped take Canadian basketball to the next level. Um, there were a lot of good teams in there. There were some American teams, and there are a lot of Canadian prospects that stood out. I think in the future we could start to see a lot of coaches come and watch this event, and you would find a lot of gems in these events in this event. And so today I'm just gonna talk about a couple teams that I saw and that stood out to me. Um, so for starters, Holden Prep, I think they had a great showing against CIA Nike, CIA Bella Vista Nike. Guys like Dante, who stood out to me, was a 6'7" point guard. Um, there's also guys like Jaden T. Lee, 6'5" shooting guard. Definitely a Division I prospect who's getting strong interest right now from Ivy League schools. There's um, guys like Sod, who stood out, who's a 6'8" stretch four. He had a great game, and they're a really well coached program by Gus. So if you recruit kids from Holden Prep, you're gonna get players who know how to contribute to winning right away and who know how to play and have a high IQ and have a skill set that could actually contribute to winning. Gus has been instrumental in the Canadian basketball scene, developing guys like Andrew Wiggins while playing a part in their development. And the Nemhard brothers, Andrew and Ryan Nemhard. Andrew, who currently plays for the Pacers, and Ryan, who is currently at Gonzaga. And then also Nikhil Alexander Walker, who was there before he went out to America and did prep school in Tennessee. It was just an overall great event, and I think that would be imperative moving forward for NCAA coaches to go out and see these guys play. So for starters, Dante, who was a 6'7" point guard, and just to just be real with you guys, his name is kind of hard to pronounce, but just to make sure, I'm gonna do my best, the best that I can in pronouncing it. So it's Dante Sensori Hercules. He's a 6'7" point guard from Holden Prep. He has a great feel for the game. He can shoot the ball. He can handle the ball. He can play, make a bid. He can finish above the rim. He can shoot it from deep, and he's definitely a low to mid major prospect. I think he has a lot of upside. I see why he was at the NBA camps. Um, if you're looking for a big guard who can really develop into a key part of your program in the future, I would definitely not just take a look at Dante, but I would offer him. I think he's really talented. He's a high character kid. He's always in the gym, and you're not gonna have to worry about him off the court. So, me personally, I think he's a Division 1 prospect. Another guy who stood out to me is Jaden T. Lee. Jaden T. Lee is a 6'5" athletic shooting guard. Plays at Holden Prep. He's getting a lot of interest from Brown, a high interest from Brown right now. He's a great academic student. He could shoot the ball off the catch really well. He could shoot it off the move really well, relocating, coming off pin downs. He's also good catching it uh, and driving closeouts and making decisions, whether it's a pull up or a sidestep three. And he's athletic enough to finish at the rim if he needs to. He could play above the rim a bit. So I would definitely look into Jaden T. Lee. He is a class of 2025 shooting guard, and I'm surprised he only has Brown right now, who's seriously interested in him because he's definitely a sniper at the next level who knows how to play, and his style will contribute to a team who values shooting and defense and high IQ. So that's another guy you should look at. Another guy who stood out to me from Holden Prep is Sod. All right, Sod is I believe he played for you play this summer. Um, he can shoot the ball. He's a 6'8", stretch four, stretch four. Um, and he plays for Holden Prep. Um, so he's long, he's tough. He can rebound the ball. He could shoot the three. He could drive closeouts. He had some plays where he pump faked some guys and caught a body on the baseline. So I think he's definitely someone who can contribute to a team at the next level as a Division 1 prospect. You should definitely at least take a look at Sod. At least he is definitely going to be someone who can help you win programs win at the next level. Moving on to CIA Nike. It was great to see CIA Bella Vista. They had three teams there. They're from Arizona. They have a lot of Canadians, and it was great to see a lot of the prospects that they had to bring. And three prospects I'm going to highlight is Miles Sadler, Rokeem Green, and Tracy Kalanda. Tracy, forgive me if I'm saying your last name wrong. I'm going to highlight them in the next section of our podcast. So the other day, Will Riley had his um, debut for Illinois. He had 8 points on 2 of 8 shooting. It seemed like he's just getting his feet wet and getting used to playing at the next level. And I think he's going to have a great college career. He may be a one and done. He may be a guy who takes 2 years, but he's definitely an NBA prospect. He could score at all three levels. His game's a bit unorthodox, but he's definitely an NBA prospect. And uh, NBA scouts, if you're listening, continue to keep an eye on him. I think he has a chance to be one of the best scorers to come out of Canada just because his skill set and his feel for the game, and he's an alpha. I've seen him play in the Canadian All Star game last year, and he's not shy about putting them up and establishing his presence on the court. So as the year continues to progress and he gets his rhythm and he gets comfortable playing, expect him to have some big games. Um, Also another guy. Well, moving forward, actually, to the three scouting reports I wanted to talk to you guys about, and to me is just not getting enough attention. Let's talk about Miles Sadler, who I personally think has NBA potential. Miles is a 5'11" point guard from CIA Bella Vista Nike, who's currently playing on the EYBL circuit in for AU and also for the EYBL Scholastic circuit with CIA Bella Vista. So he plays AAU for AZ Unity, and he plays prep ball for CIA Bella Vista Nike. Miles Sadler, to me and to our program, is the best point guard in the class of 2026. Talk about a guy who has a high IQ. He can run your team. He knows how to control and manipulate the game. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to make the right decision. All right. A lot of his turnovers is just because his IQ is higher and guys don't understand like where they should be and the plays they should be looking for. But Miles is he's great to watch. He's entertaining. He's tough. He's competitive. He's extremely skilled and he has a high IQ. So just for instance, like the tape will be coming soon, but just to review a couple things I saw, like he doesn't force the game because as a basketball player, you should be able to make every single read the defense gives you. And that's what makes a great basketball player. If the defender goes under the screen, can you shoot it? If they ice the screen, can you create space to shoot it or create a passing lane for your big, whether it's coming downhill and getting a, a, a flat screen and slicing it, whether it's coming off the pick and roll, keeping your defender on your hip and potentially hitting your big on a pocket pass or a roll because the help side is occupied with the corner pass. And he just, he's a magician with the basketball. He can make all of those reads at a high level. He's definitely an NBA prospect. And I understand coaches may be worried about his size, but at the end of the day, if you could play, you could play. And you're not going to bully him. He's not going to um, be shown up, right? He's a competitor. He's a dog. He's a leader, and that's someone I'd want on leading my team. He reminds me a lot of Chris Paul. His favorite player is Darius Garland. He has a great handle. He's shifty. He understands how to play in gaps, and he has a great poise about him. He's never rushed. He's never rushed. He understands how to finish at the rim with bigger or smaller guys. He can play in the paint with bigger or smaller guys and still finish. He can get to his mid range, create space, whether it's from a bump or a sidestep. He can shoot the three off the catch, off the dribble with range. And that just makes him that much harder to guard. And I think he's the best point guard in the class of 2026. And he's a high major point guard. He's a high major point guard. Don't sleep on him. Forget about the size. He is someone you need to have on your team. And now let's talk about Rokeem Green, also of CIA Bella Vista Prep, Nike, and AZ Unity. A Toronto kid. Man, he's a talented scorer, former BioSteel MVP, All Canadian MVP. In the futures game, I believed he dropped about 41 points. He is a prolific scorer. He has great footwork. He can shoot the ball extremely well. He's really improved from when I saw him last year. And he first stood out to me in 2022 when he was playing for, um, I forgot what the school was called, but it was a Canadian prep school. And I'll post that later on with this clip. And I was like, who is this kid with this, at an extremely young age as a freshman with a great handle? He can score all three levels and he's just getting to wherever he wants. And he's picking up guys full court. He's a competitive, extremely competitive. Rokeem is a dog in every sense of the word. He's a coach's dream. For instance, like legendary coach Nicholas Davis, who currently coaches AZ Unity in the summertime, coached guys like Jamal Murray, Andrew Wiggins, um, played coached against a number of guys and instrumental in a lot of development of a lot of guys who've come through Canada basketball. Tyler Enos, just to name a few. Like he's been around, and just talking to him and how he raves about Rokeem and his ability to defend. Like for instance, that's this past summer in the EYBL session, Rokeem held Marcus Johnson, who was an Ohio State commit, nationally ranked, to 6 points. He took him out of the game completely, and shortly after that game, he received two offers. So you're gonna get a guy who can score the ball at a high level. He can defend the ball at a high level, and he's a winner. That's that's what you want. Sometimes it's not about necessarily the resume, the hardware, but it's about the effort, the ability to compete, the ability to contribute to winning, and just really just bring the game, put your team in the best position to win. And Rokeem at 6'1", who can play the one or the two, is the guy that you need on your team if you want to win. Another guy who plays for CIA Bella Vista, the grind team, with Spencer Aarons, Tracy Kalunda. Tracy is a 6'4" guard. He's the utility guard. Another guy Coach Nicky raved about who can go and have a game where he has 20 points and 20 rebounds, or he can pick up your point guard full court. He's an elite defender. That is his best attribute. And if you need him to score, he knows how to get a bucket. He can get off in the mid range, off the catch, off the dribble, create space. He can handle the ball. He can run the one. He's PJ Tucker with some more to his game. I'm just talking in terms of playing style. He can handle the ball though, and he's just your utility guy. He's a guy you need to win. He's a guy who's gonna do everything the coach asks. He's a coach's dream. He currently has an offer from uh what is it called? Forgive me. Um, let's go through it here. Kalanda. Let's check the database. All right. So Tracy, my apologies, guys. I'm sorry for it's a little bit of a wait. But while we're waiting, I just want you guys to know that Tracy is a big time prospect. He's essential and a key figure when it comes to winning, and he currently has an offer from SMU. And this is just the first of many. He's definitely someone who I could see picking up some more offers as the year progresses. He also spent a good amount of time playing up during this past AAU season, playing a year up, going between teams, and that just shows you how useful he is and how crucial he is to when it comes to winning. So I would definitely look at CIA Bella Vista and pay attention to the roster. They have three teams with a lot of talent. Can definitely play at the next level. Their development is second to none. I've seen guys take jumps, like for instance, another guy, Jordan Charles, Spencer Aaron. You see them, and it's just the players. These players, I love these type of players where it's like you see them one year and then they look completely different the next year. The guys who take big jumps every offseason are the guys you should recruit. It says a lot about their character and their commitment to the game. Um, so that is today's three prospects that I'm going to highlight, and we'll continue to highlight more. And now we're gonna move on to our sleepers of the week. Our sleepers of the week is 6'7" forward Austin Good. Man, he is 6'7". He's extremely long. He probably has about a 6'9", 6'10", maybe a 7 foot wingspan, and extremely big hands. He can guard the ball 94 feet. He can guard 1 to 4. He can chase guys off screens. He does not need the ball to score. And he is someone who you absolutely need to win. He can rebound the ball and close positions and get out in transition. Man, he could easily average 14 and 6, 14 and 7 without demanding touches. Um, that's a guy who you may not see his value now, but at the next level, when he's picking up guys 94 feet, he's rebounding the ball and he's keeping the defense honest off the catch and shoot threes. That's a guy who you will see his value at the next level. I think he's definitely a mid-major prospect and definitely has pro potential. Sometimes he can be a bit aloof. He can chill a bit, but when those are guys to me, you just have to instill confidence in them, and you can see like how valuable they are. So to see a guy like that, like who's currently um, flying under the radar, he has a couple offers right now. To me, if I were a coach, I would offer him no question. He's definitely someone who's going to impact winning at the next level, mid-major level. You always need versatile guys, especially in today's game, who can guard multiple positions, and especially playing on the CIA Bella Vista Nike squad, he's going to be able to show his value as he plays for CIA Bella Vista Nike on the EYBL Scholastic Circuit. Um, so for me, coaches, if you do not have him on your radar, you need to check him out. He's not even close to where his full potential could be. And if you value development, if you develop value winning, this is someone you need to recruit. Um, so Austin currently has two offers, one from Maine and one from Cal Poly. But as the EYBL sessions start to come back, I think he's going to really show his value. And let's talk about Stock Riser, someone who has gotten so much better, someone who had a great summer, who got, um, I think it was an all tournament all star for the FIBA Americas under 18 or 17. And that prospect is Tristan Beckford, who transferred from Hillcrest to Fort Erie International Academy out in Niagara. And I'm a big fan of his game. I'm a big fan of his commitment. He has a great circle around him. He has great parents. He started over at Holden Prep with Gus. Spent some time working out with Andrew Wiggins this summer, and I just think the sky is the limit for him because Fort Erie also has an extremely great development program, and Charles is one probably the best, arguably the best coach in Canada as far as prep goes. So he's going to learn the game and he's going to develop his skill working with guys like Darnell Landon, developing his handle, his ability to shoot the ball. He's already gotten a lot better. The last game, he had 33 points against Hillcrest. And yeah, he's going to dunk. He's going to get out in transition. He's going to drive closeouts. He's going to do all that stuff. But the things that stood out to me is just his ability to gain his confidence to shoot the ball at a consistent rate off the catch. And he started trying to do it off the dribble. And you've seen him hitting a couple threes off the dribble. And to me, he has a lot of upside. I think he reminds me a lot of it's in terms of his movements, the way he moves, he reminds me a lot of Andrew Wiggins. Not as athletic, obviously, not the same uh talent, but I think he definitely has NBA potential. He reminds me also a lot. I think he could be like a Terrence Ross, a guy who plays, but he plays hard, plays both ends of the floor. He can shoot the three, get out in transition, finish around the rim, above the rim, freak athlete. I think he has a lot of upside, a lot of potential, and I'm just interested to see how he continues to develop with Fort Area. I think it's just a perfect marriage, him making the move there. So, recently he took a visit to Minnesota, and he's currently being recruited by a bunch of schools. You can check out his Twitter. It's a lot to go through. But I think he's flirting with the extremely high major schools. Like, I think he's just missing the handle. I think that was what would put him over the top. But just seeing him this summer battle against guys like AJ DeBansa, um, Team USA, and in the EYBL circuit, playing with UPlay, battling against AJ DeBansa, and then playing for Team Canada and leading the team in scoring and becoming an all tournament all stars. It just says a lot about his development, his commitment to the game. He has a ways to go in terms of development, and the sky's the limit for him. So if he's operating at this level already and he's not even hit the top of his potential, and he still hasn't really added a handle like a great tight handle that he can you know manipulate and play in traffic. I think the sky's the limit for him, and that's someone I definitely would advise coaches and NBA scouts to keep an eye on. Um, and that is it for today's episode one. I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to thank you for listening. Over time we're gonna get better. We're gonna have some guest speakers, but before we go and we wrap this up, I want to leave any high school kids who are listening to this prospect with our free game segment. So our game segment, it is what it is. It is what it sounds like. We're going to give you some advice on how you can take your game to the next level. And let's talk about choosing your prep school. Some of you have paid a hefty amount of dollars for prep schools. Some of you have received a scholarship. And at the end of the day, the best way to go about choosing a prep school is to go where you're wanted. If they're telling you they want you and you have to pay, you're probably not good enough and they probably don't want you that much. So parents, don't be in a rush because you see everyone running to a prep school to send your kid to a prep school. Focus on development. And if a prep school comes knocking and they're willing to give your child a full scholarship, then that's time to go, right? Development takes care of everything, and that should be the number one focus at all times. Because at the end of the day, you need to keep getting better, and that's all these schools care about. Are you developing your game, and how can you contribute to winning, and what type of character do you have? And that is today's free game segment. So now to get to the wrap up, again, I just want to thank you guys so much for listening to episode one. Please subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. If you want to connect, you can find us at thenorthway.org and check out our website. If you're looking to talk to me, check me out on Twitter, Keon Mears, at Keon Mears, or Instagram at Keon Mears. And please follow us on and subscribe to our YouTube account at The Northway. Um, check out our website at thenorthway.org and follow us on Twitter, man. And it was a joy just bringing this news to you guys. I'm looking forward to talking to you in the future. Have a good night.